are the murderous pair. Dealt with the jail and we murdered the murderers there. Deal with the hell and discovered the devil delivered some hurt and despair.
Welcome to the Beard on Fire podcast. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm one of your hosts,
Yes, sir.
Jeff, aka Erupgat, aka the Kimbo Slice of Podcasting, and with me as always, my co-host, the Sultan of Swag.
Wow. Okay.
Mansetsfire.
I forgot about those. What's going on, y'all?
I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to go with Sultan or Shaman.
I'm glad you chose Sultan.
I feel like Sultan comes with a little more wealth than a Shaman. You know?
I mean, Shaman definitely has the respect, but Sultan is definitely like the way to go.
Yeah, I think so. I'm glad I made that last minute switch.
Yes, sir. Long time no see. I am currently trapped. And actually, let's turn this off then.
Trapped?
I'm currently trapped in Australia.
Hell yeah, boy. How's that going?
Very well. Very well.
Any culture shock?
Culture shock. I've learned that Australians apparently like to abbreviate everything to one-syllabic phrases, max two.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, as well as just apparently they got decent food down here.
Hell yeah, boy.
And yeah, that's cool.
That's how I judge every place I go to.
Yeah, and it's not all kangaroo meat. So yeah, some of it's wombat. Some of it's wombat.
I mean, that could be a pro or a con depending on how you look at that.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely true.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, can't complain really. Can't complain. Not bad down.
I ain't fucking with all that shit. I've seen pictures of all them spiders. Fuck that.
Okay. Let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about that real quick. For starters, haven't run into a single spider here.
Not one.
Not one. Not even a baby one.
So you're telling me that the internet is a liar?
Believe it or not.
Because that's where I get all my news. That's where I get all my news, all my facts, is from random threads in Reddit. That's like not even about what the post was about. They just started going off on something else, and that's where I get all my news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever I'm watching booty videos on Reddit, it always spins off into random shit about Australia. So,
every time. Yeah.
Every time. It's like a chick is clapping them cheeks, and then some dude's like, well, let me tell you about the current meteorological climate of Australia at the moment. And not even like a town or a city, like the whole damn continent. Just Australia is cold right now.
For real.
Yeah.
I mean,
but all in all, no killer spiders. We're going to the water this weekend, so if I get stung by a jellyfish or a man-o-war or something, I'll let you know. And that'll be that.
If you get stung, are you going to change your name?
If I what?
If you get stung by a man-o-war, are you going to change your name to Man-o-War?
That actually sounds like a good idea. Mansetsfire changes to Man of War.
Right?
Yeah, dude. See that boing. It's the big boing. That big boing energy. I like it.
Big boing.
Big boing energy.
Did you hear about that?
What about you, man?
Oh, no, same shit.
Same shit, different day?
Got a skin infection. That's fun.
You got a skin? Hold on. How do you get a skin infection?
From that fucking, that cat scratch from fucking, like, 2 weeks ago.
It turned into a skin infection?
Yeah, boy.
Jesus.
Yeah, so, when it got infected, I put, Neosporin on it. Which I guess is a big no-no.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, so the Neosporin acted as, like, a carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just fucking, like, spread the fuck out. And just, like, ate my skin up. So, yeah.
Well, didn't you clean it with, like, alcohol and shit? Or iodine or something?
Yeah, cleaned it every time. But it was the Neosporin that I put on afterwards that, like, fucked it up.
Okay.
And so, I learned that lesson.
Sounds like fun on a bun.
So now I'm just keeping it wrapped, not putting anything on it. It's getting better. I'll look up the pictures, because I got the pictures in my fucking, whatever, my chart, whatever doctor bullshit. But like, yeah, like the entire skin for like almost the entire width of this wrap was like the skin was just gone. Like it was just red. Like it fucking hurt.
Okay, I want to see that.
I'll post the pictures in the Discord. I'll post them in the Discord. I have to find them first.
Yes, whoever watches this, I am weird. I like to see weird skin and body infections.
It's fucking rough.
Yeah, it's cool, dude. If I could withstand seeing the aftermath of some dude holding an M80 that went off in his hand.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. That happened to my boy Cha-Cha. When not an M80, but for some reason he thought it was a great idea to hold like what the fuck was it? It was I think it was just sparklers.
Okay.
But he held like
it all the way down to the tip.
Yeah, and he had like a handful of them and lit them, and they just like lit up, and his hand just got fucking fried.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And I watched this dude in the back of an armored truck like lay his hand down on paper towels and take a knife and like pop like the blisters because his entire hand was just blistered up. And he was like the pressure from all the liquid. Like he just cut his hand open in the back of a truck. And on that day, we had just hired a new guy. And so this new guy, first day on the job, just watched this giant dude in the back of a truck cut his own hand open. And then just go back to work like it was nothing.
It's
just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Go back to work.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't pull out sick, by the way.
I'm emptying my hand. Relax. It's not that big of a deal.
Like, dude, I'm just emptying the pus from my hands. Like, calm down. It's not that serious. Yo, you better go back in that building.
Yeah, I think we startled that dude that day.
Yeah, might have.
I think he got a little shook that day.
Yeah, that might have been something that fucked him up.
Yeah, whatever. He didn't stick around too long, so.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, because they're all fucking... Dude, do you know how many new guys that we, like, went through just in my time working there? Of just dudes that can't handle the fucking job. Like, just people that are, like, way too fucking sensitive, want to complain about everything, and you're like, this isn't the job for you, dude. Go somewhere else.
Jesus, dude. I know some people who are like that, actually.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, we do our job. And like we're not expecting you to fucking do better than us or even as good as us. We've been here. But it's like you can't bitch about shit that like we can do in seconds. Like it's weird. Like you're bitching about the smallest shit. Of like,
well, you know what? No, it's like what? Give me an example of something they bitch about before I say anything.
So like any new guy, like whenever you hire a new guy for an armored truck, they always start off as just the driver. They just drive for like months, possibly, just learning the route, seeing the process of everything. And then it's like, then they go into training where you get somebody else to drive, and then somebody who knows how to jump takes the new guy with him in every stop to show him the process of what we do. And then after they feel like they're comfortable with that, they can start solo jumping. But with the company I was working with, we were like literally running like skeleton crew. Like when everybody showed up to work, we had like the number of people we should have. You know what I mean?
Everybody showed up to work.
If everybody showed up. If one person called out sick, it was automatically like you took both routes, put them into one, and it was an all day thing. Like you weren't going home until like 9 o'clock at night. But it's like it's just part of it. So it's like you try not to call out as much as you can because you're not trying to fuck over your buddies. But it's like, but then you get new guys in, and then it's like somebody gets sick, whatever. Cha-Cha's case, he probably ended up in jail for the night. Like,
oh no, we're not just gonna gloss over that. No, has homie ever been in jail?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. We'll have him on as a guest sometime, and he can tell you all the stories. Like,
okay.
There's definitely been times where I've called him like in the morning, like because he was supposed to give me a ride, or I'm supposed to give him a ride, and I'm like, "Hey, where the fuck you at?" We're already like 15 minutes late, and he's like, "I'm in like I'm 2.5 hours north. It was like,
Jesus.
I dropped you off yesterday. How the fuck did you get up there, and how are you stuck? Like, regardless, we'll have him on sometime, and that dude lives a fucking lifestyle. Like,
lives a lifestyle.
Lives a lifestyle.
Fair enough.
But it's that kind of shit. So
I
it's like,
want to know that.
but like, so when you get a new guy, and then like somebody calls out, and you're just like, hey, guess what? It's an all day fucking thing. Like, and multiple times have me and Cha-Cha had to do this whole thing like by ourselves. Just one person, both routes, all fucking day. Like, you're gonna miss some stops. You can't. It's impossible by yourself. But it's like, and then like you get one of those days where you have to combine routes. But even if you have two people, you can switch. It's not as bad. But then just listening to him to bitch all fucking day, being like, I'm tired, my legs hurt. And you're like, dude, this is gonna happen a lot more. Like this happens a lot here. Like,
get used to this feeling. It's gonna suck often here.
Yeah, it will make you appreciate the days where everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Jesus Christ, that's such a bad thing to say. Like, it sucks now, so appreciate it when it sucks less.
It is. Because, like, when everything goes right, like, that job, if you hustle, you can get done with that job in, like, 5 hours. So, like, you go in at 8, and you're done at 1. Like,
nice.
If you need to be home. Like, if you're just like, I don't want to be at work today, let's knock it the fuck out and go home. Like, super easy. But it's like, you have to understand.
No one questions it.
No one. Yeah, it's like, whatever. But it's like, you also have to understand that being able to leave your job that early also means that there's going to be some days where you're not leaving the fucking job. Like, it's going to come up every once in a while. But that's, I don't know. But that's why
what was like the longest you had to stay there?
Yeah, there's been, so going in, we would start at 8 in the morning. And so I usually get there like 7:30, whatever, to prep, all that shit. And then there was more than one night where we were there until 10:30 at night. So 14, 15-hour shift. And that's 14, 15 hours of like physical work. Like, you're jumping, you're running, like carrying shit. Like, you get wore the fuck out. And there's been times where I had to do that for fucking like 2 weeks straight. And it's just
to be clear, we're talking about you work in armored car delivery.
Yes.
So the jumping and carrying and all this other shit is of money.
Right.
So like in doing all of that, are there ever times where you're wondering, like, especially in days where it's just like, say, like it seems like you and Cha-Cha were like, if I could call him Cha-Cha, were like the workhorses of the group.
Yes.
So
by far,
there's a safety issue involved in that too. Like, there are times where you'd go to a neighborhood or go to an establishment or whatever, and it would just be you two alone, and you're like, yo, we might get jumped here.
yeah, very possible. But I don't know. Like, I'm very careless. So it's like,
wow.
I don't know. We're in Central Oregon. Like, there's not a lot of shit that happens here. So it's like, when I was working before, like, I'm in the process of going back to that job. But when I go back, I'll wear my vest. But I did that job for 2 years, no vest. And I was like, I'm not wearing this shit. Like, we're in Central Oregon. Nothing's gonna happen. Like, I'm fine. It is what it is. And then I don't know. Had a fucking conversation with the wife, and I told her if I go back, I'll start wearing the vest.
What was the most? Well, you said nothing happens. Well, surely, what was the worst thing that happened there to make you feel so comfortable? If nothing happens there.
I mean, nothing happened there. I mean, I think my comfortability came from the fact that I went to war twice. And so, like, just riding around in an armored truck in Central Oregon, I was like, I'm fine. Like, I went to literal war. I think I'll be fine here. Like, this is all fucking, like, retired old people and hippies. Like, so I was like,
basically,
whatever.
you never saw it. So basically, ain't shit happened over there. That's why you felt safe.
Yeah. Like, I mean, no, not like, not around here. Like, if I was up in, like, Portland, like where I grew up, completely different fucking story. Like that's a city. Like I would wear a vest every fucking day there. But here, this is all like fucking ranchers and farmers and fucking hipsters and retired people, and it's like there's no, like, the worst thing that's going to happen here is that a meth head is going to get ballsy. That's about it. And I'm not scared of a meth head. You know, like,
meth heads can get ballsy.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, I'll push you down. Like, it's not that big of a fucking issue. And especially nowadays, with like technology the way it is, cameras everywhere, like the effort of hitting an armored truck is usually not worth the money that's in the truck. So I think for the most part, people are done with it, unless you're in a city where you know a lot of money is being moved.
Oh yeah. Like, I'd imagine if you were to go, say, hit an armored truck in New York City, that'd be a different monster.
Yeah, guaranteed they're moving more money in an hour than we're moving out here. So it's like, around here, I'm not... Yeah, so, whatever bullshit. Did you hear about the gang attacks in LA?
No, I was too busy worried about the shooting that happened over in New York.
Well, that's on your side. I don't follow that news. No, I saw a thing on...
all right.
We'll get to yours, all right? No, but I read that in LA, the police have connected 17 different gangs to following and targeting, like, super wealthy people. And it's just been, like, a thing that's been happening for, like, the last year or so. But, like...
That they know of.
That they know of is like they'll like, I guess the gang members will go to like balls or galas, whatever fucking rich people event, and they just follow people away from it. And then they're like, the police are like, they're not even like, it's not even a stick up kind of situation. It's like they follow them, rush out of the car, jump them, beat the shit out of them, take whatever they can, and then ride off. Just straight up like mugging, like. But I guess that's a big thing that's happening right now.
I mean, in that situation, well, first off, thankfully, no one's losing their life. I'm hoping.
From what I read, there was 2 people so far.
2 people who died?
Yeah, they were robbed, that were killed. But like, out of the numbers, it's
fuck that idea.
The death rate is very low compared to the number of robberies. Like, they said this year alone, so far, they've had 56 of high-profile targets being hit by gang members. And then last year, it was like 200 and something, like, total.
Well, if I remember correctly, that's what happened with Pop Smoke, isn't it? There's basically some gang out there that followed him to his place, thought they were going to catch him. He had a gun. I think he took out one of them, but then they killed him. And they got away.
I'm not even sure.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Let's look it up.
Not to mention, like, I always hear about how it is over there, and people like getting caught lacking, as it were. And yeah, like, they will run up in your house, like, no questions asked.
Yeah, I think the pendulum, whatever, is starting to swing the other way now with gang shit.
What do you mean? You think that as in they're trying to target a different group of people?
No, I think like in the 90s, gang activity was like very
off the charts,
like prevalent. Like, it was all in the news. Like Tupac, Biggie, like everybody knew about the gangs. But like, since that, like, you don't really hear about it unless you're around it. Like, it's not in the news anymore. Nobody really talks about gang activity. You know what I mean? Like, not in the last like decade or so. And so I think that pendulum's starting to swing back now, where people stop taking gangs as seriously or as serious. And now, in light of that, gangs are feeling like they have to push back harder to reestablish, you know what I mean? Like, their danger level, their presence.
I think it's just simply put that they feel like they've been emboldened, like, and they feel like the opportunity is there. At the end of the day, right now, a lot of people's hurting for cash, and well, gangs, they've always been in the mindset of like, I've got to get mine, even if it's at the expense of you. So,
right?
Why wouldn't they? Plus, it's California. There's lots of money that goes to California. So why wouldn't they? Honestly, I'm just surprised that these rich people. No, well, one, they fucking themselves by targeting these rich people, because as much as I personally would prefer them to target them, but they're fucking themselves, because these are the same people who could turn around and make a phone call, and next thing you know, you got a task force waiting outside of every freaking Met Gala event.
Right.
So it's like, sure, especially if it's like, for lack of a better word, if the money is feeling threatened, then all those municipalities and principalities, the first thing they're going to do is throw their entire police force at the situation.
Right.
So, it is what it is. And in doing so, these motherfuckers, sometimes they don't know how to differentiate between the assholes and the people just, who look like assholes. So that's going to cause some interesting problems down the road. I'd love to see some reports on that. That comes out, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, did you find anything?
Just that he was shot in his house, that he was renting. That's all it says. It doesn't say anything about following. It says there was 4 suspects in hoodies. One was wearing a mask and had a gun. But it doesn't say whether or not they followed him or not. But yeah, they don't know if they followed him or if it was a robbery gone wrong. Like they thought nobody was there, broke in, he was there situation.
Yeah.
But I doubt that one. I think it's more likely that he was followed.
I would think so too. People like that in that neighborhood he most likely was in would have stood out like a sore thumb. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It is what it is. Personally, I'm scared to see what the implications of this would be, especially with LA and its treatment of people who look like other people. So
very true.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll fucking find out. So what happened with this shooting in New York?
Right. So basically, what ended up happening was apparently in the subway in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, which is this fancy, well, not fancy, but kind of a more posh area. Some dude set off some like smoke canisters to kind of like set off smoke in a small area, and then just started opening fire on people. Apparently, no one was killed. A lot of people injured, but no one killed. Thank God. But yeah, apparently some black dude. I'm not even sure what beyond that. There is a person of interest. I don't know if that person of interest is, say, a suspect, but sometimes with that wordage, you have to be specific with that. A person of interest is a person of interest. A suspect is a suspect.
The subway shooting?
So, yes. Yeah, the subway shooting. It happened yesterday,
I
believe.
Looks like there's a new update an hour ago.
Oh, really? What's the new update?
The man suspected of shooting 10 people on a subway train in Brooklyn on Tuesday called in a tip to Crime Stoppers that led to his capture Wednesday. Blah, blah, blah. Frank James, who's 62.
Yeah.
God damn, he's old. That's way too old to be shooting up.
To be doing some dumb shit like that, right? That's what I was thinking. Like, I saw, if it was the same person, I think it was.
He set off a smoke grenade and fired a handgun 33 times.
Mm-hmm.
Left 29 people injured.
Mm-hmm.
10 people who were shot.
Yeah, that is the dude. Yep, that's the dude.
As of an hour ago, the motive of the shooting is still not yet known. Yep, and then he has court tomorrow First court appearance tomorrow.
Yeah.
To see what happens.
That dude is way too old to be doing that dumb shit.
Yeah. But that kind of makes me want to know what the fuck the motive was then.
Exactly.
Like, if you're fucking 62.
So I'm saying, if you're 62, I could understand if it was some young, stupid motherfucker gonna be like, alright, cool, whatever. Right. But if you're an old-ass man, grown-ass man like that, 62, what's making you do that?
He had some kind of reason.
Yeah. Could be some sort of mental illness, could have been something.
Very possible. Very, very possible.
I don't know. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna really know.
I don't know, probably not. That's just life, though. Do we ever really know anything?
All I'm gonna say is, thankfully, that dude had shit aim.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Because if he had good aim, that could have been really bad. Let's mention, where the fuck did he get a smoke grenade from?
It can't be that hard to get one, right?
In New York? Yeah, probably.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's not an explosive. It's a smoke grenade. Like, you can probably get it somewhere.
Still some sort. It's still a low-grade incendiary device. It's smoke.
True.
I don't know.
I don't know. I live in Central Oregon. I know for a fact I have people I can call that can get me smoke grenades easy.
Yeah. So I'm about to say, you living over there, I know you probably know someone who can give you some freaking machine gun shit. Yeah. M60s or whatever.
Not me. I'm not that dude. But I know people.
You know people who can get that.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're in the military and you fucking hang out with a bunch of retired Rangers, special forces.
Well, I would imagine with your military background, they don't even blink twice. But yeah, I want this M16, which I know is a really outdated gun for anyone who's going to sit there and correct me. But I want this random M16. Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Can I just see your card? Yeah, here you go. All right, cool. Here it is. Just do the paperwork and send it in the mail.
I mean, an AR isn't that much different.
Yeah.
Than a fucking M4.
I
mean, very, like, I'm not even sure the exact differences, but an AR is pretty much an M4.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like
this is like the quintessential gun most people like think of.
Yeah. It's like the go-to assault rifle.
Yeah. Now it's like, what is it? Now it's like the AR-15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which what's the difference between an AR-15 versus an M4?
I have no idea. As far as I can tell,
they
it's
look
the same
almost
fucking
exactly
weapon.
the same. Yeah, they look almost exactly the same. It has to be some technical gun nerd shit.
My boy Rocket. We've had him on Outdone Podcast before. But he has an AR, and like we've gone shooting and I've shot it, and I'm like, this is an M4. Like, I don't understand the difference. There has to be something, because I don't understand why they would have two different names. There has to be some difference to it, but I just don't know what it is.
So for the gun nerds who may or may not watch this, a military M4 is slightly shorter and has the ability to fire in full auto. The modern day standard AR-15 that the vast majority of us normal people buy is generally a 16-inch barrel with an adjustable stock, while the M4A1 has a 14.5-inch barrel. I told you, some real gun nerd shit.
So it's the length of the barrel.
Length of the barrel.
That's
stupid. And one could go full auto, the other one can't. Although I could swear there's some AR-15s that could go full auto.
No, yeah, with an AR-15, all you have to do is file down the fucking thing. It's illegal.
Oh, AR-15 auto trigger.
Yeah, you can file down a part that lets it full auto.
Oh, okay.
But but I mean, if that's so it's the same fucking gun. As far as I'm concerned, just because one goes full auto and the other one doesn't automatically do that, like, it's the same fucking gun.
It's a shorter barrel.
Yeah, whatever. I'm pretty sure you can buy shorter barrels for the M4 also. Like,
you probably can.
Because I know motherfuckers that had M4s that had like fucking what looked like snub nose fucking barrels on that shit. Like, that shit was like compact.
I've seen those AR-15s look like barely anything. short like this short.
Yeah.
Like it was literally just a stub for the stock, and the gun itself was maybe this long.
Right.
And they pulling it out of like pockets and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You can get crazy with that shit. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I like guns. I like shooting guns. I have fun with it, but I'm not one of those crazy fucking gun guys. Like the only gun I have is a Smith & Wesson ST9, and the only thing I've done with it is I replaced the fuck is it called? The spring.
Oh,
stick, whatever.
This looks like some military shit.
What's that?
This is a military shit.
What's that?
This ST9.
Oh, the Smith & Wesson?
It's a handgun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I got that, and I updated the recoil spring, because the recoil spring stock in the gun is plastic. And so I bought a metal one, because I don't trust plastic.
Plastic brakes.
Yeah, and then I swapped out the trigger for a trigger that doesn't have a wall on it.
What do you mean a wall on it? Okay. No, what do you mean a wall on it?
Okay, so on any gun, it has a slack in the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you pull on the trigger, it has like space for you to pull, and then you'll feel like a wall.
Mm.
And when you press past that wall is when the gun fires.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's like so when you're shooting and doing your breathing, you pull the trigger all the way back to that point, and then that's when you do your breathing, shoot, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I swapped out mine because the wall on the stock trigger was like really fucking stiff. And so I swapped it out for one that's like assisted, so the trigger moves easier.
Okay.
So I don't have to put as much effort into pulling the trigger back. I can get off more shots quicker, easier. That kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Gun ownership, something us New Yorkers can't legally experience yet.
Yeah, because even when you're aiming, if you have like a really stiff wall on that trigger, like it can throw off your aim depending on how much you have to press that trigger. Like if you have to put too much strain into it, you're throwing off your aim. So the less resistance there, the more spot on you can be.
Jesus.
At least to my knowledge. Feel free to comment if I'm a fucking idiot. So I'm not a fucking instructor.
Oh, I'm sure if someone did know, they would be the first to be like, well, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Well, actually, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to drink now, dude.
Yeah, fucking drink, boy.
Drink.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I gotta go get a drink. Right. Hold on a second. Oh. This is where Europe is gonna break.
We are the murderous pair.
Orange juice and rum. Is that a bad idea?
Probably. Welcome back, people. Orange juice and rum. That should be all right. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And no, let's just drink regular orange juice. I'm like sitting here like, yeah, let's not do that.
I'm drinking a fucking voodoo right now, baby.
What is a voodoo?
Vodka and Mountain Dew.
Oh my god. Voodoo. Okay, cool, we got that.
Right? Aren't you glad you know about that now?
My life has now been richer for that experience.
I also got a new cup.
Fancy. Looks like my cup, actually.
It's my dad cup.
Is your dad cup?
Yep.
Got that because you're a dad?
Yeah, so people think I'm drinking coffee, but it's actually just spiked drinks.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't go to fucking teacher-parent conferences, like, sober. Right?
Who does that?
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, what am I, a fucking animal?
Jesus. Who would do that? Not me.
Yeah.
Go see my kid's teacher sober, please.
What were you talking about? Guns? Yeah, it says that Cha-Cha has a AK.
Really?
He's a fancy boy. Yeah.
Aren't AKs like cheap? Yes, but also very expensive.
I don't think so. It's very cheap, very reliable gun.
Well, yeah, I've heard that all the time.
Yeah.
I've heard people say literally you could drop it in water and pick it up on fire.
Not even mud. You can throw that bitch in like mud and just fucking put a magazine in it, rock it, and fucking go. Like that's what it was made for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Plus, it doesn't hurt the fucking fact that it shoots 7.62. Beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, I don't know.
And for those of us who are not aware, 7.62 is a type of bullet.
Yeah.
That hurts.
7.62
hurts real bad.
It's a good size round.
Yeah, you get hit with that, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. For those that don't know,
really bad time.
Most military rifles use 5.56, which is a much smaller round. Yeah, 5.56 are designed to what's the word for it?
Disintegrate?
No. To disable a target.
Okay.
Like it's not a round meant to kill. It's a round meant to make you stop doing whatever the fuck you're doing without killing you. Whereas 7.62 is a bigger round. That's gonna hurt a lot.
Like you're gonna have a bad time. You get hit with that, you're gonna have a real bad time.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy.
Or a really short time doing whatever it is you're doing.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, so it's like, in the army movies, any of like the big machine guns. Okay, I should say the man-carried machine guns that are bigger are usually 7.62. And then the rifles are 5.56. And then the big machine guns on top of trucks are 50 cals, and those are sexy.
Yeah, but that's well, everyone knows about those. That's different. That's like the fucking. You don't even use those on people. You use those on like.
Oh yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You use big ass 50 cals on people?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I'm genuinely quiet because I've heard stories of those ripping people apart.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yeah. With binoculars. That was cool. I told you I wasn't right in the fucking head, alright? I don't have...
You were... See, I told you I'm fucking weird. Anyway,
fucking weird, dude.
Yes.
I fucking... I bottle all of my emotions up. I have no emotional connection to any of this. I completely disassociated from all of it.
Desensitize yourself to it.
Yep, completely. I mean, we might have to do a fucking like some bonus content like thing of where I like go into this shit. But like, I'm not putting that out for free. Like, if I'm gonna get into like all this shit, you're gonna have to pay to fucking watch that episode. But yeah, I mean, everything from fucking watching IEDs go off to people getting hit by 50 cals to picking up the body pieces of suicide bombers off the street. Like, you see some shit, man.
All right, so then, because we're gonna give him a little taste. Does a 50 cal do to a human?
Okay, since this is a tease, I will say that if a 50 cal goes by you, very close, it will knock you down.
Oh, not hit you, but just pass by you.
If it goes like right there, it will put you on your ass. Just the sound force behind it. So you can imagine.
Never mind it actually making contact with you.
Right. I don't even know the fucking science behind that. Like that might be enough to kill you. If it just fucking goes by you close enough, I don't fucking know.
Well, if it can go by you, and you're telling me it's enough force to still knock you down. Plus, I mean, I could do the math, but I don't have the numbers. But like, I guess it could, at the bare minimum, give you a concussion.
You're right.
Yeah, if it's nearby your head and that force is, it's gonna give you a concussion for sure.
Yeah, has to.
Mm.
Because even like the smaller rounds, like you still hear like a crack.
Well, yeah, that I know about.
Yeah.
Like when you shoot with like a sniper rifle or something, a long distance rifle, you hear the crack before you feel you get hit by it before you hear it.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, the sound. Yeah. But even with like rifles, like the smaller rounds, 5.56, like when you're in a firefight and you hear those like the rounds are going up by you, like it sounds a lot like breaking tree branches.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's close to you, like you can tell the difference between rounds going around you and a round that almost got you. Because the closer it is, it sounds like a snapping tree branch. Like if you go outside, pick up a stick and snap it, that's what it sounds like when a bullet goes by you. Mm-hmm. Whereas if it goes around you in the general vicinity, you hear the usual gun sounds, that you hear in video games and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when that shit's like close, there's a difference. Like you're like, oh, that almost happened.
Almost didn't make it home. Cool. Let me just find some cover real quick.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right, we're gonna talk about this. Just again, a small taste.
Small taste.
I've always wondered, like, because it sounds like you've been in like fights. Like, yeah, I've been shot at and shot back at people.
Yes.
Is cover really a thing? Because like,
is what
you'll see in video games, is like cover really a thing? Because like you'll see in video games, oh, I'm hiding behind this random tree, and I'm protected, right? But I mean, in real life, a lot of these rounds are designed to go through most of the common shit you'll see on the street.
Right.
Like a lot of people, like you'll see in video games, people hide behind car doors and shit like that. But then, like, I know after a certain size, that bullet's going right through that car.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe if you're like by the engine block, which is basically a big old chunk of metal. Yeah, cool. Maybe that will protect you.
Yeah.
But like anywhere else in the car, it's going right through that car. So what cover is it actually giving you other than just, okay, well, the guy can't see you.
Well,
but if they just unload on the car, then you're still dead just the same.
Right. That's something that they go over. There's a difference between cover and concealment.
Mm-hmm.
Like cover is you're protected and you can't be seen. Concealment is you can't be seen, but like hiding behind a bush. Like that's not going to protect you from anything. If they light up that bush, you're still getting hit. But all of that changes depending on your environment. Mm-hmm. So like when I was in Afghanistan, it was a lot more of like open field combat.
Where do you even find cover in a situation like that?
Well, our cover was we were mounted infantry. So a lot of our patrols were in Humvees. But I mean, occasionally, of course, we foot patrols. You have to do what you do. But it really depends. Like, it depends on the intel you have about enemy weaponry. So it's like, most of the guys that we fought were like low-level Taliban, like, or freedom fighters from other countries that were coming over, but they were usually like smaller caliber weapons. Like we weren't really concerned. Like it wasn't going to go through a Humvee for sure. And there's enough, at least where we got into it, there was enough cover around where we got engaged of like natural cover of like hills, like waterways, bridges, whatever the fuck it was. Like, yeah. Cover is very much like in video games. It's way more aggressive of like how fast you move up, because all of our contact, like, well, in like any video game, like you're usually the one going in somewhere. Like you're the attacker. You know what I mean? So it's usually more aggressive. You're trying to get somewhere. Whereas my time in Afghanistan was more, our rules were to not shoot unless we were shot at. And so we weren't really going into a lot of places like guns blazing. It was, we were doing our patrols, trying to just secure an area. And every once in a while we would get like lit the fuck up by some guys in a mountain. And so like they're shooting fucking AKs themselves. So it's like at fucking 2,000 meters, like they're not really aiming at anything. They're just kind of spraying. You know what I mean?
Brain.
So the majority of my combat downrange, for the most part, was just super far away gunfights.
Okay.
Of like, you shoot until they stop shooting. You don't know if you killed them or they ran away, but they stopped, so we were going to keep doing what we were doing. Like, we're not going over there to investigate. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the time where I saw the guy get hit by the 50 cal, that was us going into a place because we had intel that it was like a stronghold for the local, you know, terrorist unit, whatever the fuck they were called.
Mm-hmm.
And that time it was more aggressive. Of like, we went into an area with the intent of like, we're coming in to fuck shit up, like. And that was like a what is it? And I'm getting stuck on words. It was a co-op mission with the special forces. So we all linked together, did our plan, went in, you know, fuck shit up. As you do.
So you had like the full ass Call of Duty experience. Go into an area, fuck shit up, get out.
I mean, Call of Duty is obviously overblown. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say anything I did was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to fucking be like, yeah, I went in there with my fucking ammo belt, fucking Rambo. Like,
yeah. You were like one-handing an M60, you were like one-handing a machine gun, belt fed it, and just standing there
right.
like, ah!
No, none of that shit. Like, I didn't do anything fucking crazy. Did my fucking job. Like, just, I was a grunt at the fucking time, so just did what the fuck I was told and let other people figure it out. Yeah, I don't know.
That particular instance, were you successful in what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't remember.
Okay.
I didn't really pay attention to the overall thing. Like, I just know, like, our overall goal there was just to, like, secure, like, an area around the base. Like, just try to keep it clean, keep it safe. We would do a lot of, like, medical, like, missions of, like, taking medical supplies down to the local village. Our medics would, like, give the locals shots or take care of their wounds. Like, and then we would have, like, 6 guys down there for, like, security. But it was, like, really laid back. We would go out and, like, play soccer with the local kids while waiting for them to do their thing. And it was just, you know, like, just building relations. But it was, like, but I mean, yeah, there's certain times it's with everything. It's like, you want to be nice. You want to be, you know, gain their trust. You want, you know, you want that connection. But then at sometimes it's like they get a little too comfortable. And you're just like, no, you have to remember, we're still here on, like, we have a mission. Like, and if you start fucking with us, it's like, you know, things have to happen.
Did you ever get a situation where someone had to be put in their place like that?
No, not with us.
Okay.
No, but we definitely did like shows of force. Of like, not like fucking with people, but like in the middle of the night, we would do like a night op. And like just small shit of like, we would go out there one way and then make sure like we go through the village on the way back. Just to make a show of like, hey, we can work in the night. Like they actually started calling us demons. Because of the fact that we would do so many night ops, and then we'd always have like the night vision on. So they just started calling us demons because they just saw the glow in the dark as we're moving an entire fucking company through a fucking village.
Jesus.
But I mean, it's just that shit. But like, we always, hooked up food. We always paid the locals to do like construction on the bases. Like, you gotta build the connections.
Wait, hold on. I just looked up what a company is. That's 80 to 250 soldiers.
Yeah. So it starts out with a team. A team is an NCO and like 3 or 4 like privates or specialists, whatever the team is. And then a squad is 2 teams. A platoon is 4 squads. And then a company can be, it depends on the unit. But like the one I was in, it was 4 platoons in the company. And then we had 5 companies in the battalion. Jesus. Yeah, it's a lot of people moving.
Holy shit. A platoon is 20 to 50 soldiers, and you have 4 of those in your company.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's usually one of the platoons is like the headquarters of like, that's usually like your supply people or people that work with like the first sergeant, like the desk people. And then the other 3 platoons are like your actual unit, like go out and do shit. But yeah,
fair enough.
Crazy shit.
God damn, that's a lot of dudes.
It's a lot of dudes.
It's a lot of dudes with guns.
Talk about toxic masculinity.
Oh god. Yeah, that is a thing.
It for sure is. It's definitely a thing in the military.
Okay. All right. Well, drop that. What makes you say that out of nowhere and so strongly?
Huh? Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about it next time.
All right. We'll talk about that next time.
It's about time. It's about time.
Tune in next week for next week's adventure of Europe had to shoot a motherfucker in the face. Or wherever he actually ended up shooting him. I don't know.
Places. I don't know.
Places.
Give me $5.
As long as you ain't shoot him in a
Give
dick.
me $5 and you can have that episode.
We'll give it to you for a discount at $3.50.
$3.50. Say, God damn it, woman. That's what I
even watch South Park, and I know that reference.
Yeah, that's one of my and Lex's favorite things. All right, love all your faces. Check all the links. Do all that YouTube shit. Ooh, until next time, we love your faces. Later.
We are the murderers pair. Dealt with the jail and we murdered the murderers there. Then with the hell and discovered the devil delivered some hurt and despair.